Hi there, welcome to Apple World. They just want to revise history. Oh, fellow Tori did a lovely extraordinary about the Comedy Store in Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all falsehoods. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store. Tiffany was just seen at the lab plant. A few of us are against the Illuminati, and we're against the Illuminati at our own disservice. When individuals are against the Illuminati, then they get hit upside the head constantly. The press loads them, and no one prefers him, so Tiffany had his pen to come. For Katt Williams, however, she is rapidly learning the hard way that Katt isn't the individual you need to come for, cause Katt didn't come to play around. She as of late attempted to jokester Katt and over him for being a mystery drug fiend, yet she most likely didn't anticipate that Katt should hammer her that hard. Listen, when Katt spills tea, he truly goes in, you all, and this time he hammered Tiffany and uncovered her for being a mannequin for Hollywood elites to do their grimy business with her. Guarantees that Tiffany is just a pawn and a fantastic plan of things, and listen, you all need to get in on it since this show is crazy and Katt is spilling all the tea. I've been doing. I was on that so. Raving I was on all the I accomplished additional work. I was on every one of the Little White Individuals Network programs, the Individuals of Color television programs. I used to be on D60-bit now. If you all felt that Katt planned to dial back on uncovering individuals in the business, then you don't have the foggiest idea who Katt is. I mean, on the off chance that there was one individual who was difficult, not entirely settled, and he doesn't have any idea giving up or quit spilling tea is Katt. So several days prior, he kicked things up a score when he went on Club Shade digital broadcast, and he had a great deal to say about numerous celebs, including Diddy, Kevin Hart, and Tiffany Haddish. Now he gathered Kevin and Tiffany, calling them out for being fakes. Now many individuals found this unusual and sort of expected that Katt tossed the primary shot, so when Kevin and Tiffany began retaliating, many individuals saw this as self-preservation. I mean, wouldn't you be vexed in the event that somebody began coming for you out the blue too well off base in light of the fact that it just so happens Katt's assault was not so irregular as everybody suspected, on the grounds that he was paying back Kevin and Tiffany for attempting to demolish his name. Okay, so I will give y'all a smidgen of setting here. Do you have any idea how Katt was continuously uncovering the Illuminati and other obscure associations in the business, while as per him has experienced an extraordinary arrangement due to it, on the grounds that the people pulling the strings in the business have kept him down and kept him from being basically as fruitful as he ought to be? A few of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own drawback. When individuals are against the Illuminati, then they get smacked directly upside the head constantly. The press detests them. No one enjoys them. In the Club Shay interview, he was gotten some information about Kevin Hart's choice to wear a dress on Saturday Night Live. At this point, see, before this, Katt had consistently discussed how unusual and unseemly it was that people of color in the business were frequently compelled to wear dresses or act in a few improper scenes, like gay scenes, that were misrepresented for comic advantage, while Katt hammered this work on guaranteeing that it was purposeful embarrassment with respect to the business to embarrass individuals of color, and he alluded to it as embarrassment custom, calling attention to how that people of color some way or another become more fruitful subsequent to being embarrassed. Well, Kevin Hart likewise talked about this, and keeping in mind that he didn't reprimand it as unequivocally as Katt, he guaranteed that he wasn't into the entire thing of men wearing dresses. Well, then the following thing, we knew he wore a dress on SNL. This obviously makes an interpretation of from the Latin to who request which means I'm request, and the arms are back up for one more triumph lap. He got hauled for being a two-timer, and he guarded himself, saying, I wore a dress on SNL on the grounds that I thought it was interesting. I made my own choice, no one made it for me. I'm my own manager. However, returning to Katt in light of the fact that at the time he was gotten some information about Kevin wearing a dress, and he said that he won't fault anyone nor fault Kevin in light of the fact that it had turned into a long old practice for dark guys in the business to cosplay with ladies' clothing all in a piece to become renowned and very effective. I'm expressing them by the day's end. Kevin doesn't need to stress over what Indo's going to say regarding him wearing a dress in view of the long queue of dress-wearing individuals before him. So presently we had enormous Mother's Home 1, 2, and 3. I've never seen media in a jean suit. I think she wears dresses. So presently, I'm saying, for what reason are we picking old unfortunate little Kevin Hart, since it was his chance next? Okay, now he did in fault Kevin or get down on him or everything, except Kevin lashed out and protective about it. So when he went on the morning meal club with Tiffany Haddish, he truly laid into Katt while Tiffany sat not too far off next to him and gestured an understanding. Great. Kevin continued forever on that morning meal club, discussing how Katt was making things up and how the business was after him, and he guaranteed that there was no one after endlessly. Katt was rationalizing on the grounds that he would have ever not conceded that he was the disappointment. He then, at that point, said that Katt was on drugs and had no one except for himself to fault for his vocation. Tumbling you all, it was a ton, and I sort of find it fascinating that medications were the principal thing that he leaped to, isn't it? Intriguing that at whatever point someone attempts to spill the tea on Hollywood, they're blamed for being insane or on drugs. We've witnessed this to such countless stars, including Kanye West and even Dave Chappelle. Presently remember this medication part, since we will return again to it in a moment. In any case, all that show went down in 2018, and we felt that Katt had moved past it. However, incidentally, he is as yet holding a significant resentment, since he had a ton to say about Kevin and Tiffany on Club East Shea. He hammered Kevin, guaranteeing that he isn't generally so fruitful as he depicts himself to be, and that he lies about his prosperity to do right by himself. What's more, this isn't exactly the genuine case. All things considered, he likewise uncovered Kevin as an industry plant who claims to have sold out shows, so everyone imagines that he is really effective as a humorist. Well, Katt additionally brought up how Kevin had never had a long queue of individuals anxious to watch him perform, so his achievement is somewhat unexplainable in 15 years in Hollywood. Nobody in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him truly getting a thunder Roos applause at any satire club he previously had his arrangements when he arrived. Have we known about a comic that came to LA? Furthermore, in his most memorable year in La, he had his own sitcom on network TV and had his own film called So Plan that he was driving. No, we've never known about that before that individual, or since that individual. What do you think a plant is? He then taunted Kevin for getting his rummage roles, guaranteeing that each time he gets offered roles that elaborate him putting on a dress or some peculiar conduct, he would advise the makers and the writers to consider taking out the dress scenes, since it was pointless and he would have rather not gotten it done. However, they wouldn't listen. They rather gave the job to Kevin, who was glad to take it for a 5-year time frame. Each and every film that Kevin Hart did was a film that had been in front of me, that all I had said was simply, could we at any point make a portion of this stride and bring it out, and afterward I can do it as it needn't bother with to be clearly gay, 'cause I'm not gay, right? It needn't bother with that to be entertaining, right? And that's what me saying and them going, goodness, definitely no issue. And afterward going to give it to this other fellow and having him do it very much like it was, and behaving like I'm a terrible individual since I continue to remain on my norm. Yet, no doubt it's fascinating in any case. I wouldn't transform it for anything. Likewise had a couple of odds for Tiffany Haddish, joking her for being a mannequin and being utilized by Kevin Hart and a few Hollywood elites. He likewise uncovered her for lying about performing at the satire store, guaranteeing that she never had an exhibition there. They want to change history that Fellatory did. A wonderful unique about the parody store in Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all untruths. Sten Cedric never performed at the satire store. Tiffany was just seen at the lab manufacturing plant. At first, Kevin Hart attempted to act unbothered, saying that he wouldn't elevate Katt with a reaction. Kev, you gotta get back. And, I'm welcoming you to come spot on forward the digital broadcast and get your return from the bustling week. You had no doubt definitely amazing good fortune. Best of luck inspiring me to discuss that poor guy anyway. It was obviously irritated in light of the fact that he chose to discharge back, calling Katt a comedian who had a place in a carnival. You didn't express anything to Katt Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slowly yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on here? Well, do you engage the bizarre or do you watch it per se? That clapback was frail and certainly missed the mark. So Kevin chose to ask Tiffany, who Katt had proactively alluded to as his mannequin, to retaliate for himself. And to be fair, she made an honest effort, yet she simply wasn't a counterpart for Katt. She got going by posting her accomplishments. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.